Everyday superpower, where we talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. We're talking game, we're talking about successful dating, we're talking about communicating effortlessly, efficiently, coherently with the woman. So pay attention, yeah? We men are seduced by the senses. Our sight, what we smell, what we hear, what we taste, and what we feel. Whereas a more direct means into the mind and fascination of the woman is the word, is the stimulation of the fascination of her mind. Being able to converse intelligently and insinuate fluently. I'm going to talk to you about dating. I'm going to talk to you about engaging with women, full stop. If you are wanting to get into her pants, generally speaking, more than likely, you might have to talk to her for a little bit. Right? Sometimes that might not be the case. If you're good on the dance floor, that might not be the case. So, or if you pay her, might not be the case. So, you want to be able to create consistent threads of conversation, taking her on this journey, taking her on this worldwide exploration via her imagination. In a sense, you are going to be able to hypnotize verbally through your knowledge, through your experience, and through your unique quality that separates you from the other men she has spoken to. We present ourselves in a particular manner. You can focus on that. The only other thing you have to focus on is the expansion of your consciousness, the expansion of your knowledge, the application of your knowledge, the depth and the unique value of your knowledge, the implementation of your intellect via the spoken word. When you're dating that woman, you can't speak on the same topic forever. And if you are engaging with that woman, she doesn't want to hear you speak about the same things she could hear from her colleague. A little bit of familiarity is okay, but you are going to want to be able to disconnect and reconnect to particular topics by your own choice. You lead as she craves the leader. And yes, I say that we should listen more than we speak. Let her have the limelight. Let her be the spotlight. Allow her to get what she doesn't get with others, which is space to express her own identity and individuality. You give her that. But when it's your turn to converse, you must lead with such a fantastic fathom of pacing, direction, knowledge, glitz and glamour of the verbal sense, that she can't help but pay attention and listen. And as you continue your journey through the verbal expression, you connect that topic onto another topic, and before you know it, she's taken on a turn into a different field, into a different space of understanding. And as she continues following you, she forgets the last conversation or as to how we got here, And she continues listening as to where you send her onto the third space, and you can feel free to tie it up and come back full circle, or you can just continue moving. You are multifaceted. Your intellect knows no bounds. The fascination she has in you, the element of mystery they tell you should have, comes through your life experience and your understanding and your knowledge. If your knowledge is going to work, coming back and watching the television, how much can you speak about? You're not expanding your horizons. You're not expanding your horizons and living a life of colour and expression to impress women, but you're doing so to live a life worth living. And when you live that life worth living, you will have a never-ending supply of information to provide that stimulates the imagination to a degree she has never felt before. You can make a woman finish via the word. She doesn't need your physical touch. She doesn't need big biceps and muscles. She needs a stimulation to that feminine imagination. You need to take her on a journey and allow her to submit and follow to your word as you take her on this journey. You need to read. You need to observe. You need to see. You need to inquire. You need to listen. You need to do everything that the general populace does not do. The general populace speaks. The general populace communicates their own message, but not takes the time to understand the value of the message they receive. They're 90% talk, 10% listen, whereas you are 90% listen, 10% talk. And in doing so, you expand your knowledge of the human because you approach it in a genuine interest. In doing so, you showcase empathy, which is what the woman wants in the man, emotional intelligence. And you leave oneself to see through the eyes of others. You live 100,000 different lives in one lifetime because you experience through the eyes of others as opposed to your own singular story. And that singular story is one of going to work, working a job, being part of a hierarchy as to which you submit because you don't own the business, and then you come home and consume the media and entertainment and the message and the principles that they socially engineer you to possess, because it makes you a weaker person by default, because they can't be doing with bringing strong people up in this community because they will overthrow the power that they have. That's the general person. You're not like that. You don't do that. You see that. You observe that. You express that. You know that inside and out, and you reapply the principles as to which you learn through that dynamic, through your dynamic, through other people, through what you perceive in communities, through what you perceive in the tribal essence of things, what you perceive through the salesmanship of the fear and pleasure principle that manifests through every communication and transactional basis throughout planet Earth. You see these things, you express these things. She wonders, how do you know these things? I've never met anybody who speaks like that. I've never met anybody who has such value as you. You're engaging with her, you get cut off by someone, the waiter brings you a drink, you don't continue on with that last communication, you've got too much to talk about, you start afresh, you start a new thread, you create new conversation based on something different, based on the drink you're having. Did you know they mix this with this and this? Did you know about these chemicals? Did you know about, you know, the purpose as to which liquid serves in your body? Do you know, when I had this, I was sitting on the beach of here, so do you know what the traditional culture is over there? It's amazing. You would love to go. Maybe we should go one time. Maybe in the future, if you're lucky, we can go. Do you see where I'm coming from? Create something from nothing. You will learn how to do so when you start to educate yourself in this external information, in this uncommon information. And trust me, as we enter the you will own nothing and be happy period of civilization, they will take away the books, they will take away the literature. Kindle is a mockery of the book. You create Kindle from burning material. Yes, they are burning the books. They are burning possession. You stream your music. You don't even read. But if you do, you read it off of a Kindle or off of a PDF. You need to possess information that sharpens your information. You need to read about humans. You need to understand people. And not only will you communicate about the right things and portray this immersive storytelling that links into our hardwiring since the dawn of time, it's the most enticing means of creating a bond, right? You will express it and engage with it in such a manner and create this communication as you're telling this, story, in a means as to which you will plant seeds in her mind. You will excite her. You will project in this pickup artistry sense, this demonstration of higher value, this indication of interest in such an oblique means, but she can't help but reciprocate it to you because you are giving her the game she never got from nowhere else. You become the teacher. You become the educator. You become this authoritarian figure. Expand your horizons. Learn and live a life now. Quit your fucking job and go and live a life. Be you, be independent, be individual, and for some strange reason, people will deem you as valuable. Isn't that strange? Disregarding the material possession, disregarding the BMW on lease, disregarding the mortgage, Click like and subscribe. Peace.